The night wind carried the scent of salt from the Bosphorus Strait, sweeping through the ancient towers of Constantinople, once the brightest jewel of the ancient world. But now that light was little more than a flickering flame in the face of an approaching storm. The year is 1453. The Byzantine Empire, once mighty and spanning the Mediterranean, is reduced to a small patch of land encircling its capital, Constantinople. The once great imperial city now stands alone, surrounded by enemies. On the majestic Theodosian walls, Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos, both a valiant warrior and a devoted ruler, stood in silence, gazing toward the horizon. He knew this was not merely a battle for a city. It was a battle to protect the last remnant of Rome, of faith, of a legacy stretching back over 1,000 years. No reinforcements, no Western fleet in sight. Only about 7,000 soldiers within the city walls, a mix of remaining Byzantine troops, a few thousand mercenaries from Genoa and Venice, and a handful of seasoned Christian warriors. The walls were strong, but hearts were anxious. What approached was not just an army, it was an entire empire, young, bloodthirsty, and ambitious, led by a young king who called himself the Conqueror. On the other side of the field stood Sultan Mehmed II, only 21 years old, who had meticulously prepared for this battle for years. To him, Constantinople was not just a prize, it was the dream of all Ottoman sultans before him, and he was determined to make it reality. He marched with an army of 80,000 to 100,000 soldiers, accompanied by thousands of labourers, engineers, artillerymen, and a weapon never before seen in medieval European history, the giant cannon Basilica, 8 meters long and weighing over 18 tons, capable of launching stone balls the size of a human head, crushing walls that had once repelled Arabs, Bulgars, and Slavs alike. He ordered the construction of siege towers, encircling trenches, and cavalry-proof barricades, all for a campaign designed to leave no escape route for his enemy. When the massive iron chain blocking the Golden Horn, Byzantium's classic naval defence, halted his fleet, Mehmed did not waver. He commanded that the Ottoman ships be dragged overland using greased wooden sleds through the hills under the cover of night. By dawn, Byzantine soldiers were stunned to see enemy ships. Floating inside the harbour they thought was secure. On April 6 the inferno began. Thunderous cannon fire shook the ancient stones of the city. Cracks appeared in the walls, and assaults followed in waves. For 53 days the battle raged, each side pushing back and forth over every foot of ground amid screams, fire, and the tolling of church bells that sounded like morning cries. Though exhausted, the defenders fought with unwavering resolve. Giovanni Giustiniani, the commander of the Genoese mercenaries, became the backbone of the defence, until he was severely wounded in the final days. Inside the city, civilians lived in fear, but also in faith. The Hagia Sophia became a sanctuary of ceaseless prayer. The elderly, women and children begged for a miracle, but none came. Outside, Mehmed tightened his grip. He refused all offers of negotiation. He did not want a treaty. He wanted glorious victory. Before dawn on May 29th, an eerie silence fell. No cannons, no war drums. Then the signal horns blared. 3 waves of Ottoman assaults began. First wave, undisciplined mercenaries, repelled. Second wave, bloodied regulars, still could not break the lines. Third wave, the Janissaries, the empire's elite, were unleashed into the smoke, mud, and corpses. Then came the moment that sealed the city's fate. The Kerkoporta gate on the northwestern wall had not been closed the previous night. Ottoman soldiers discovered it and poured through like a flood. By the time the defenders realized, it was too late. Emperor Constantine XI refused to flee. He removed his imperial robes, drew his sword, and charged into the fray one last time. He vanished in the chaos, his body never found, leaving behind a legend that the last emperor still lives, sleeping beneath the earth, awaiting the day he shall return. That afternoon, Mehmed II rode into Constantinople. He made his way to Hagia Sophia, now filled with refugees, blood, and tears. Entering the grand nave, he picked up a handful of earth and sprinkled it over his head, a gesture of humility before God and victory. He ordered an end to the looting, protected the citizens, and converted Hagia Sophia into a mosque, a monumental symbol for the new empire. He declared, "I am Kaiser I Rum, the new emperor of Rome," and Istanbul, the city of Constantine, officially became the heart of the Ottoman Empire for the centuries to come. With the fall of Constantinople, a chapter of history spanning over 100 years came to an end. Rome, from west to east, was no more. European royals were shaken. The Christian church mourned in bitterness, but no one had the strength to strike back. Meanwhile, Byzantine scholars fled to Italy, carrying with them the treasures of Greek and Roman knowledge, helping to ignite the Renaissance, and Mehmed, once dismissed as a war-hungry boy, was now the man redrawing the map of the world. He would expand the empire deep into Central Europe, Egypt, and the Middle East, raising the Ottomans to the peak of power. And that is today's story. If you enjoy historical stories like this, great battles, tragic heroes, and moments that change the world, then hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because we still have so many stories left to tell. And you, yes you, will be with us on this journey. See you in the next video.